So you want to go road tripping. Well, it's a great way to see the country, to get into the great outdoors, explore new places. But when you add up transportation and lodging, entertainment and food, it really starts to become pretty expensive. So how do we afford to get out of the house and go see the world? During COVID, it was a big deal to go on road trips, but now we're looking at astronomical gas prices. It's making it really hard to afford going to new places. Hey guys, I'm Benjamin Carver. I'm currently road tripping through the Colorado mountains, and I did it on a pretty tight budget. It's been hard balancing budget with having fun, but I found a way to do it. So I've gathered 8 very useful tips and tricks that'll help you make your next road trip super affordable and totally possible. So let's get started. So the number one thing that I recommend is you just sit down and you make a plan. You start early, you do the research, figure out where you want to go, what's good, what's not. You lock in those early rates when it comes to hotels, car rentals, whatever it is you're planning on purchasing in the future. And you just get crystal clear about what you want to see out of this trip. The second thing that I recommend in this same tip is that you set a budget. It's so important that, whether you're going by yourself or with friends, with a spouse, that you decide how much you're willing to spend, not just on the whole thing, but on each line item. It really helps narrow down your options and make sure that you're not going overboard when it comes to the expenses on this trip. Number 2, focus on the lodging. It's your biggest expense and it's gonna wipe you out if you don't plan accordingly. The first thing I'd recommend is using websites like Priceline or Expedia. They can help you lock in really great rates and help you find the best hotels with reviews and everything. Another thing that I recommend people try out is Airbnb. You can get a shared room or even your own private room for way cheaper than you can a hotel. If you're scrolling through Airbnb wherever you want to stay, you may see private rooms for $50 a night, $100 a night. You may get a shared room for $25 a night. Depending on your comfort level, Airbnb is a great way to explore a new area, meet new people, and also save some dollars. If you're going the hotel route, I'd say don't be afraid of motels. If you do your research right, there's some really quality motels out there that are cheaper. But I also would recommend looking into weekly rates. A lot of hotels and motels will offer weekly rates that are significantly reduced in price just for staying the full 7 days. An example weekly rate could be $300 or $400 for a week, which is almost the equivalent of staying only 3 or 4 nights. It's a pretty good deal if you ask me. And what's great about this is you don't even have to stay the full 7 days. It may still be cheaper than if you had paid night by night. One final way to knock down that lodging expense, and my personal favorite, is to live out of your car. I call this the hotel on wheels. And while it's not the most glamorous thing in the world, it can be so fun and so easy. If you bring along the right tools, you throw a mattress in the back of your SUV or your truck, or bring a sleeping bag, bring a tent, you can stay at state parks, you can stay at overnight parking lots, really anywhere for cheap or free. And honestly, if you have the right tools, it can be really easy. You might not even miss the hotel. I highly recommend you give it a try, especially if you're exploring somewhere beautiful. You don't want to be stuck in some hotel room when you could be out in it. Give it a try. Number 3, gas. Ouch. It costs about $120 to fill up this guy right here. Gets about 18 miles per gallon, so it really hurts my wallet, right? So the first thing I recommend is if you have access to an eco-friendly car, take advantage of that. You can still live out of something that's smaller than SUV if you're planning on taking that route, but it'll save you significantly in gas. What I would do for a Prius with 50 miles per gallon right now. If you don't have that option, there's of course other ways to at least reduce the gas expense. For one, I would recommend downloading an app called Gas Buddy. It's a great way to make sure that you're getting the best price on gas. You can plug it in, see what's near you, or search along your route. And it's an easy way to save a few dollars or, maybe even $100 over the course of a road trip. Every bit helps, right? If you're a member at something like Sam's Club or Costco, take advantage of that. Even if you're just getting 5% back or lower gas prices, make sure that you're stopping at those places and planning them out accordingly. The truth is, gas is a big one right now, and there's not too many ways to significantly reduce or eliminate it. You could go take a flight, but you still may have to rent a car. How are you going to get around? There's always going to be opportunity cost there. The way I see it is focus on the other expenses, knock this down a little bit, but understand that a lot of your budget is going to go towards gas, especially if you're making a long road trip, and that's just gonna have to be okay. So, the fourth one is food. I get it, you like to eat, I like to eat, and when you're on the road, sometimes you just get the munchies, you gotta go eat something. And if you want to eat fast food while you're driving, if you want the convenience of being able to walk into a restaurant, try some local cuisine, totally great. But we can save some money by eliminating certain meals throughout our trip. The first thing you can do is bring a cooler. It doesn't need to be anything fancy, but it needs to hold ice, preferably one that can drain water out at the bottom. Just bring along some stuff for sandwiches, some snacks, things to hold you over at the very least. Now personally, I like to load that cooler up with all my meals. I do the planning in advance, and I bring along the equipment to cook as I go. If I'm staying at a campsite, I know it has utilities, I have an extension cord, I have a little cooktop, and I make my meals there. Another thing that I did was I went to local Walmarts and local grocery stores along my route and picked up things that were expiring that day, perishables, and got them for a deeper discount and was able to eat them right then and there versus having to lug them around the whole trip. And here's another great example of why planning is important. I'm up in the mountains where groceries are expensive alongside everything else. So before I came up, I figured out which foods I need to grab. I went and bought them, I filled up on gas, and I was ready to go. So once again, planning makes a big difference when it comes to your food. Another thing that I like to do is download apps when it comes to fast food. I'm not a big fan of having a bunch of apps on my phone, but if I'm on a road trip and I know I'm gonna be stopping quite consistently to grab a quick bite, a quick drink, downloading an app can give you rewards, it can give you coupons, it can give you free meals, free drinks. One example, and I can't believe I'm saying this, is the McDonald's app. Not a big fan of McDonald's, but it saved me a lot of money on my road trip, gave me some iced coffees, can't complain about that. Depending on your comfort level and your needs, these are great ways that you can eliminate those high costs that are associated with food on your road trip. The best part is whatever you save on food, you can push towards the things that you're actually there to do, like sightseeing and entertainment. All right, let's move on to number 5. Number 5, this has everything to do with why you're on this road trip. You're here for entertainment. You want to get out, you want to explore, try new things. I wouldn't recommend just hacking away at this area in your budget because it's why you're on this road trip in the first place. But what I would recommend is making slight tweaks depending on your needs and where you're going. If you're in somewhere beautiful where it's all about nature, like Colorado, most of what you want to do is already for free. Explore local hikes, go into the mountains, go to the lake, fight a grizzly bear. Whatever you want, it's going to cost you barely nothing, if not nothing. Now, if you're somewhere where everything costs money or there's certain things you want to do, totally cool, you've got the budget for it. But I would recommend checking out Groupon. It's a great website and app where you can explore local activities, get super great rates like half off, and also check out reviews to see what's worth doing. The biggest thing about entertainment is not cutting it out, but just making sure that you're spending your time wisely and your money on the things that are important to you and that will be memorable. Don't go to all the restaurants or all the breweries just to say that you did it. Spend your time wisely. It's why you're here. Number 6, use your points and rewards. I know credit cards can be iffy, but if you know how to use them, they can be a great tool. For example, you can get cash back on gas, groceries, expenses that you were already going to make, so you might as well take advantage of them. If you have gift cards that have been piling up in your drawer, in your wallet, your purse for Lord knows how long, then you might as well put them to the use. On this road trip, my wife and I busted out like 5 or 6 different Subway gift cards that we collected over the years, and we ate for free for like a few days, and I never want to eat Subway again, but it saved us a lot of money, and they're not bad. Number 7, just invite other people along with you on your trip. Whether it's friends or family, it's a great way to create bonds, make memories, go on adventures with other people, and also share those set costs. $100 a night at a hotel is kind of pricey, but with 5 people, it becomes $20 a night per person, pretty affordable. So this is probably the easiest way to reduce those costs without actually impacting the quality of your trip. Now, if you want to ride solo, totally cool, But otherwise, this is an amazing way to make it an affordable road trip. So those are the top 7 tips and tricks that I have for you when it comes to doing an awesome road trip on a tight budget. But Ben, I thought you said that there were 8. Well, there are. The 8th and final tip is to subscribe to my channel. If you care about your wallet and if you care about your lifestyle, both of which you should, then be on my channel every Friday when I push out brand new content just for you. I teach you how to optimize your wealth, but also maximize your lifestyle so you're living the life of your dreams, but you have the money to afford it. Now, if you found this video helpful, leave a like down below because it really helps out my channel. And once again, tip number 8, make sure you subscribe if you want to see more content. Lastly, if you have feedback or you have a tip that has worked for you, put it in the comment section because I really want to hear it. Now, I will see you next Friday. Go out there, travel the world, and live your best life.